Welcome back. We're going to do a quick round robin and share our favorite Bible verses, whether it's the favorite one this week or your favorite one in the Bible. Today, we're just going to quickly go around and share what verses mean the most to us at this moment in time. And for me, it is Psalm 119, 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. That verse has been a very big part of my faith walk since I first read it, because I really believe that God can be there in the darkness and the light, and I want to make sure that He always is. So this verse stands very true for me, especially when the enemy tries to get in my head and redirect my thinking. So this is my favorite Bible verse. Gives me a lot of security.
Bree, what about you?
Oh, um, so I have a lot of favorite verses in the Bible, but this week, this little story in particular has just been really on my heart and just at the forefront of my mind, just meditating on it and just sort of just, I don't know, it just is really speaking to me. And it's really, I think, because it's about Jesus's compassion and just the level of compassion that he had in his ministry. I've been doing the daily, or not daily. I used to always do read the Bible in a year, but this year I decided I just wanted to focus on the New Testament. And so I've been doing the Bible Project one. So I'm in the middle of the book of Luke. And you know how you can like read the Bible over and over and then suddenly something jumps out to you and like, hold on, I do not remember that being in there, you know? And so that is how I found this story. And you know how the spirit just kind of comes alive sometimes and like highlights something to you when you read it. And so I'm just going to read it and then talk about it. It is in Luke chapter 7, 11 through 17. It says, and Jesus was doing his ministry. And it says, soon afterwards, he went to a town called Nain, which weird name, and his disciples and a great crowd went with him. As he drew near to the gate of the town, behold, a man who had died was being carried out, the only son of his mother. And she was a widow, and a considerable crowd from the town was with her. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, do not weep. Then he came up and touched the bier, and the bearer stood still. And he said, young man, I say to you, arise. And the dead man sat up and began to speak, and Jesus gave him to his mother. Fear seized them all, and they glorified God, saying, a great prophet has arisen among us, and God has visited his people. And this report about him spread through the whole of Judea and all the surrounding country. And then right after that is when John the Baptist sends one of his disciples to him and says, are you really the Messiah? And Jesus says, well, go and tell John what you've seen and heard. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, and dead are raised up. The poor have good news preached to them, and blessed is the one who is not offended by me. So I didn't realize that like he placed that story right before he proclaims to John, like, yes, I am the one that God sent. But this story just hit me so hard because it wasn't just Jesus who was raised from the dead. It wasn't just Lazarus who was raised from the dead. It wasn't just the little girl who was raised from the dead. He raised a man from the dead for his mother. He took compassion on this mother. And I don't know, it's something about just the compassion of him just walking by, seeing a woman who's grieving the loss of her only son. Like, I think it was just sort of that foreshadowing, right? Like, he saw his own mother in her, because she was going to lose him. She was going to lose her own son. And just that level of compassion just really has really been hitting my heart this week. That he sees everything that we're struggling with. He sees our hearts. He sees the pain. He sees everything. And he just is walking down the street and sees that and says, I choose you. I have compassion on you, and I am going to do something for you that will change your life forever. And he just walks in there and does it, for all of us. So that is just really, sorry, I'm getting so emotional about this, but yeah, it just has really been hitting my heart, just receiving that kind of compassion from him. you know, that we don't necessarily deserve, but he wants to give us anyways. He wants to change our futures for the better. And he wants to give us hope, you know. So whatever you're going through, he is there having compassion on you and he wants to give you hope for the future.
Bree, real quick, I just want to, I love that you saw Jesus's reflection of his own mother in that story and what he knew was coming and the pain that was going to be caused. I love it when people connect the dots like that and see that prophecy that's happening in the Bible. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah. Jesus cares about families and he cares about taking care of mothers and sons and daughters and husbands, and every single one. Because he wasn't just taking care of the pain in her heart, he was providing for her future. If that was her only son back then, he was the only one who could take care of her. She probably would have been destitute without him. So, her grief was multiplied in that moment, because she didn't have her husband either. So Jesus restored to her what he could.
Sheri, what's your favorite verse?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one that keeps coming around. And it's, I would say, more the one that my business is more built on. And I've been using it in the different talks that I've been doing to Christian audiences. And it's just about glorifying God. So it's whether, therefore, ye eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. And I think it's just a reminder that, whatever we do, whether it is what we eat or drink or it's our marriage, it's all to the glory of God. And so we just need to keep that, centermost in our mind. I need to keep that centermost in my mind, that everything we do can be to his glory or not. And it's just, it hits me in different ways too. And, just me also sharing that with the different Christian audiences that I've been speaking with. It's just a reminder to them too that, your body is your temple, is, it's given to us. And that's the other one that I also bring in is that particular verse, and that it is all about the glory of God. How can we glorify him in everything we do? Is it by saying yes, or is it by saying no? Because they both are important.
Y'all are hitting me today. It's so good. Every single thing said just touches a whole new layer. I've been thinking Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. Uh, just be still. Um, and I think just because some days it's just like, can I do this? Can I just, am I gonna, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna make it? It's gonna be okay. Um, and then I just think about that, and that brings me back to what I was talking about earlier, which is just today, if I just do whatever I need to do today and just pray to him and he's got the day and just trust. And it almost kind of makes me, I'm starting to get excited just knowing that that he is fighting for me. And so it's like there's this excitement of what's going to happen next. Um, so I'm enjoying that moment now and just trying to just trust and be still, knowing he's fighting for me. And he fights for all of us. I think he fights for us all when we just ask him and like, Jesus, will you just fight for me today? I can't do it. And I need you to win this battle. I think he almost comes up and is like, yes, I got you, my daughter.
Sometimes he just wants to be asked so that we recognize that we need him.
I think it takes us out of our own strength when we do that, you
Mhm.
know? Um, because at one point in time I was like, Jesus doesn't need me to ask. And I was like, no, but I need. It's almost like that's my way because it's so hard to ask, you know? I mean, sometimes it's hard to ask for anybody for anything. And so I think that's where it's been eye-opening for me is I need to ask. Yes, he knows already, but I need to ask and he wants me to. He wants me to ask you. But yeah, you're right, Bree.
Okay.
It's
I think
definitely.
it's interesting that oh, go ahead. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying it's definitely a way of humbling ourselves when we ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Pride and ego can make us believe that we don't need to, like you said. I know that's my issues. I get into fear about asking and being rejected, but that's just ego.
I think it's women too and mothers. We know what we need to do, right? And we often just step up and do it because we know it has to be done. Right?
It's interesting how many times in the New Testament, when Jesus in his ministry, people would call out to him and he would walk over to them and he would ask them, "What do you want me to do for you?" He wouldn't just walk up to them just because he knew and just healed them. He would make them ask and tell him what
Mm.
they needed and what they wanted. And
Mm.
many times he was like, "Okay, great. It's done for you because your faith. Because you had the faith to come to me and ask." I don't know. I love that. That he wants to know exactly what we want, even though he knows saying it out loud that we need him. I think he loves to hear it because we do. We need him so much.
Me
So
too.
much.
Mm.
Oh, girl, I can't wait then to see what's going to happen because I am like all in. It's kind of a mystery, you know? Is it going to be an earthly sin or is it going to be heavenly or because it doesn't, it's just not easy like people think when you pray and give everything to Jesus, it's just going to be easy. But I found that me working for it is so much harder
But
doing nothing.
Than just surrendering it to him.
This has been really great, y'all.
it has.
Mm.
It has.
Yeah. Not only, I think, not only hearing the verses, but then like what they mean to you and how you relate. And for so long, I didn't even have a verse. I mean, I would just be like, hold on, let me go find something. So again, to actually like have in my mind a verse that I cling to feels so good. I don't know if maybe like, it just takes a minute or some people I'm sure can just pick up the Bible and like, oh, this is my verse, but it's never been that way for me. Um, so to like honestly and truly be able to say that, ah,
Okay, well, what's your favorite verse? Drop that in the comment section below because we would love to know what verses you guys like to look up in the Bible or recite. Um, please remember to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with everyone you know and love. And hopefully, by the next time you see all four of us on a podcast, my voice will be back to normal. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.